Hello friends, welcome to Python tutorial for beginners series. This is the 19th video of this series. So in this video we are going to discuss one of the most important topic in Python, which is if-else block. So we will be discussing in very easy language just for the beginners. So please pay attention throughout these videos. So we will discuss if-else in Python. So before discussing this, let's see why we use this. So if else is basically used whenever we want to check any condition. Okay, so if this condition is true or false, so if this is true, do this. If this is false, do this. So generally in programming we encounter this throughout our different practices. Okay, we want to see something that if this is true, run this thing. If this is false, then run this thing. So for that we use if else. So I have written this code. We will discuss this, but before that let us see the syntax of if else block. So why it is called block? So you can see there is one if, and before that this is just a variable declaration. So this is general. Now after this you are seeing this is a condition, and then there is a block. And why I am saying this block? Because these two line, you can see all these are in the same line. These two print statement and these two. So in Python there is a rule which is called indentation. If you are aware, then it's good. If not, then we will discuss. Indentation means we can see in the initial of this print statement there are equal number of spaces, white spaces. Similarly, after before this print also there are equal number of spaces. So this is called indentation. All this code lie in the same line. Okay, and this is compulsory. Okay, if we change this, suppose let's say I write something like this, then it will throw, or suppose write like this, then it will throw error. So all things should be in the same line, which is called indentation. Now see what indentation means. So for that, to write if block, you have to write like this: if and then some condition, just like in this case x is greater than 200. So this is a condition or statement. So you have to write anything like x is greater than 3, and then you have to give a colon. Okay, and the moment I hit enter, you can see usually line start from here, but the moment I hit enter it started from here. Means by default it is giving some space. So, and now you can write your code anything here. Okay, and again if I hit enter, you can see again it's starting from the same location. So this is called indentation. It all should be in the same line. Okay, but if I remove this colon, now if I hit enter, you can see it start from here, but the moment I give colon and then hit enter, it start from here. So in if block always you have to give this indentation. So by default in different compilers interpreter it is inbuilt, means after this colon it will automatically give some space. But if it is not in some compiler, you have to give this by yourself. Okay, so the rule is you have to give 4 space bar. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 space bar you can give. This is a rule. And if it is inbuilt, means by default it is giving the white spaces, then it is good. Okay, so enough of these rules. Okay, now we will see the code. So this is all. You have to give if, and then any condition you have to give, and then you have to give one colon, and after colon by default line will start from here. You can write your code, again you can write your code whatever you want, and then after this there will be some if, and then again one condition, and again some code, again if, and at last else. Okay, now I will run this and we will see further. Now we can see there are 1 2 3 4 8 print statement, but we are getting only 2. Why? This is the benefit of if else. Okay, if means it is giving a condition that if certain thing is true, then only run some code. If it is false, then do not run. Okay, now we will see which statement has been executed, and I think it is the last one, else block and then last block. So this 2 line has been printed and all these 3 line has not been printed. Why? Now we will see one by one. So the control start from here, x equals to 50. It is very simple. 50 is stored in the variable x. Now control go here. So it is check if, and then it check this condition, x is greater than 200. Now all thing depends on this condition. if this condition is true, listen carefully, if this condition is true, then it is saying enter this block. This block means this two line. Okay, so if this condition is true, you can enter here, print, and then here. But if this condition is false, do not go here, directly go to this block, elif. Okay, so this is all about. If this is true, then here. If this is false, then directly here. So I think this is false. X is greater than 200, it is false, because x is 50 and 50 is greater than 200, it is false. So this is false, so these two lines will not be printed, and the control will go here. Again it will check for condition elif. This is basically else if, but in short it is elif. Now it again check this condition, x is greater than 100. So is it true that x is greater than 100? So false, because x is 50 and 50 is not greater than 100. So this is also false. So again this two line will not be printed. This block will not be printed. Now the control move to here. Next elif. Now again it will check the condition, x is greater than 80. Is it true? So it will return either true or false. So if it is true, then it will true, else it is false. So x is greater than 80 and x is 50. So 50 is not greater. So it is also false. So at last else it will move to else. Now in this case you can see there are some condition, but in else there is no condition. It means else will definitely run. Just like in simple English we say if this is, else this is. Else means it will definitely execute. So now it will execute these two lines. That's why we are seeing these two lines, else block, this one, and then last block. So this is all about if else. So let's start from here. If the condition is true, go to this block. If this is false, go to next condition. Again go to next condition. And if none of the above condition is true, else will definitely execute. Now we will see here. That's why we have written something. First if block whose condition is true will be executed, and then execution will stop. So we can see there are three if block. If some if block means if we are starting from here, if the first if block would have been true, then that would have been executed and then execution will stop. Further you do not have to go. But if none if block is true, else block will definitely execute. So these two lines are basically the conclusion. First if block whose condition is true will be executed and then execution will stop. If none if block is true, else block will definitely execute. So I think we will be clear after seeing the next example. Okay, now we will see here. I think many of you might be aware what we will be printed, what thing will be printed. So this is again if, else if, and then else. Now we are clear. So let's start from very beginning. So before running this, we will see how this will go. So at first we will start from here. We will start from this if block. So if x is less than 200, is this true? So x is 500 and 500 is less than 200. It is false. So if it is false, this print will not be executed, and we will move to next condition. If x is greater than 100, is it true? X is greater than 100. It is true, because it is 500 and 500 is greater than 100. So once this is true, this block will be executed, which is print. So it will print block 2. Okay, now this has been true, so it is printed. But if now the control will not go here, because only one condition is true, that will be printed and execution will stop. Further movement will not be there. Okay, that's why I written here. First if block whose condition is true will be executed and then execution will stop. Now execution will stop. Now this if will not be considered also, and this else will not be considered also. Just control will move away from all this if else, and it will move directly to the next line. Suppose if there had been some new line apart from this else if, then that will be executed. So all this else if, it is a type of a code. Only one block will be executed, either if or else. Any if is true, that's okay, else will definitely execute. And after this print statement, this will not be executed, this will not be executed, and directly new statement print will be executed. So if I run this, you can see block 2 has been executed and last this one has been executed. Although this is true, x is greater than 80, this is also true, but the control will not go here. The moment the first if block is true, control will stop and it will directly move out of all these if else. So this is all about if else block. I hope it is clear. So just keep practicing, and if you like this channel, please subscribe. Thank you guys.